Most of this establishment's significance comes from the very popular date, 1983.
Hey, stop! Why?
And this is due to the bite of 83, turned back to Henry's family, by which at this point contains two children, very young, Sammy and Charlie. Although these are not confirmed names in this universe, Henry has these two children in the book, so I'm just using them to make it easier for you to understand. Now, I must point out that there is a possibility that Henry's house from back in the 60s is turned into the diner. Firstly, there's clearly one big room and one back room if you just knock down this one wall. Secondly, we know from the FNAF 4 minigames that the crying child, who I will be explaining to be Sammy in a minute, lives next to the diner. The house here is very isolated, and there is definitely enough room for an entire playground, a house, and a diner. By using this theory, there is also a way that this display we see on the title screen of FNAF 4 can be visible from the secret mound in the Midnight Motorist minigame, hence why it seems like the camera is in a garbage dump with broken animatronics. I know what you're thinking. Yes. Firstly, no, I'm not a mind reader. And secondly, the FNAF 4 definitely doesn't take place inside of Henry's house. However, that's not what I'm inferring. I'm saying that all of these places are Henry's house. A house that would end up being somewhere here in Midnight Motorist, the FNAF 4 minigame house, and the FNAF 4 title screen house. They are all the same. So, how can I tell that this is Henry's house? Well, this question is a little bit hard to put together, and there's only one real way to do it. It's good to note about the house that there is a boys' room and a girls' room, and due to the similar layout of the rooms and the similarity in age targeted for this room, we can tell that they are both young siblings. So, that alone narrows it down to either Sammy and Charlie, or Michael and Elizabeth. To narrow it down to one other pair, however, we're going to need some more logic. Outside of the FNAF 4 minigame house is a bluey purpley car. This must relate to the family that lives in the house, as there is literally a car park outside of Fredbear's Family Diner. So it wouldn't be for parking for the diner, it would be for parking for the house. There are two possibilities of who this car could belong to, and you guessed right, both of them are related to either Sammy and Charlie, or Michael and Elizabeth. How? Well, they are both fathers, in particular, William and Henry. Let's look at how this car could belong to William first. In FNAF 2's Take Cake to the Children minigame, we see Purple Guy, who in Silver Eyes, spoiler alert, is actually William Afton, killing a child, making this his first murder. However, he gets there by car, which is coloured purple. Now, yes, it is close to the colour of the car outside of the house, but clearly it's a different car, even though it's displayed to us with Atari graphics. Now, let's look at Henry. If we are assuming that Orange Guy is Henry, then we can also say that this is his car. And what do you know? A bluey purple car. Now, again, it isn't a perfect match, however, it is, again, in Atari graphics. And it is closer than William's car. Therefore, this concludes that this very house belongs to Henry and his two children, Sammy and wait a second. I was just talking about William's first victim. That was Charlie herself, stood outside the window, looking in, and like the puppet, always thinking. William comes, murders her, and then leaves behind tire tracks and a dead body outside the diner. Now, if you're wondering, the bite of 83 happens after this, severely injuring Henry's final child. Sammy. Now, yes, I know some things are going to be unclear at this point in time, and although reading through the script allows me to say that this theory is correct so far, I know you're going to say otherwise. Anyway, to clear some stuff up, let's go to the end of the night minigames in FNAF 4. There are a few things that are interesting and puzzled me at first, but I can put them together. Firstly, I need to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Or better off, the mangle. Yes, in Charlie's room is mangle? Huh? This left every theorist confused. Is it a toy? Is it gonna kill someone? Is it mangle? Huh? But most importantly, this mangle tells us that mangle is here, meaning it has a good place in the timeline. This mangle portrays that this is Henry's house because Henry put Mangle together in the first place. It also says to me that Charlie is already dead. Why would someone just dump a mangled tangle of wires and bars in their children's room? For storage, of course. Take this. Well, I didn't get a good shot of that. Whatever, I'll leave it. Oh well, I'm on low battery. I may as well just leave it. That's stupid if they're alive. However, if the room is no longer in primary use, then why just keep it as an empty room? You know what I'm saying? You can have a deadly animatronic in an empty room if you want to. It's not going to harm anyone. Well, I say that.
He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Who you gonna call? Psychic friend Fredbear.
Golly gee, Fredbear, weren't we supposed to be learning about puppies? Oh, Fredbear.